What's up guys, this is Astranox and we're gonna be showcasing Alencia today in Azimanak Hunt. So let's check her stats real quick. I was using health percentage main stats boots, but I switched those for speed main. Those were on my fire can, so her stats, that's what they look like. And yeah, I mean, she was at 99% crit chance, a bit more crit chance, higher effectiveness. This is gonna be good because, well, with the Mind's Eye, it's gonna give her, well, 30% more. So you only need 55% effectiveness in PVE. I have Daydream Joker on her, so she deals extra bit of damage. So that is good, and it scales with crit and crit damage. And of course, she has defense down on skill 1, so that works with Daydream Joker, upping her damage. So skill 3 is going to be really helpful with the spell for Azimanak Hunt. So let's get in there. I'll bring other heroes. Let me just show you. So Seaside Bellona, of course, is very powerful with the constant counter attacks, defense down, the unable to debuff, debuff. I mean, my stats are pretty good. She's a limited hero. You know, I don't have Ilya's Violent because this is the Europe server. This is my third account, and yeah, if I had Ilya's Violent, I could, you know, throw that on Champion Zerato, and it would be like, you could kind of like solo the place. So it's going to be Seaside Bellona and Angelic Montmorancy in the group. She's got some decent speed, effect resistance. I mean, with her own memory imprint, she's 200% effect resistance. So no debuff will be landing on her. Very reliable healer with Rod of Amaryllis. So let's go in there. Let's go in there and see how it goes down. Azimanak Hunt. Okay, so she's going to be in the front line because you want to put her in PvE in the front line. There's 40% chance that the AI attacks the front liner, which is super helpful because she's on a counter set. She's on a counter set, and it's going to allow her to just keep on using skill 1, having a higher uptime on the defense down debuff, and it's going to increase the overall damage of the group. Now with the speed boots, her speed speed went up, but I lost some health, so I lost some survival. She was at like something like 24,000 health before, but it should be all good because we have some sustain in the group. So the thing is, the dispelling from skill 3, my skill ups are, I got skill 2 to 50% chance to trigger when she gets attacked, and I got skill 3 just enough so I can get the -1 turn cooldown. So it's a 4 turn cooldown, and then when she does use trample like she just did now, when she does have Mind's Eye and she uses skill 1, she combos into trample, and that reduces the cooldown of skill 3. Very helpful. And like, let's say she's getting targeted, there's a lot of AoE damage, area damage, then it will allow her to just reduce her cooldown quite often with skill, the trample. So that's very good. And in here, you definitely need area damage. You know, Alencia is definitely not the best for this place, but she has AoE, so she deals damage to the ads. Like right there, like they got killed, she finished them off, so that's very good. And the dispelling to remove the frenzy is extremely helpful, because if you keep the frenzy on the boss, well, the damage will get out of control and you will just end up wiping. Seaside Bellona with the constant cleave attack, the skill 2, you know, just a bunch of passive AoE damage being thrown against the enemy with the potential defense down is extremely helpful. Rosa Hargana artifact is equipped on her. I don't have her limited artifact on my Europe account. If I did, I would have a lot more attack on her, and I wouldn't even worry about stacking crit and crit damage because it scales off of attack. But you know, in PvE, in most cases, you want to have your heroes on speed boots because it will increase your overall damage. But Seaside Bellona, she's built for PvP for me. She's built so she deals a huge chunk of damage when she counters with skill 2. and I prefer to have her on attack percentage main stat boots. I will be showing my gear like every slot after these. I'll do like 2 runs, so after that I'll show. And yeah, the dispelling plus the enable to be buff debuff is allowing my team to well, not letting the boss have this frenzy for too long, or maybe preventing him from getting frenzy if enable to be buff debuff is applied. Daydream Joker, of course, is not something you're going to be wearing on Alencia in PvP, but if you're going to be using her in PvE, like I'll showcase her in Banshee as well, Banshee 11. I'll showcase her in Golem 11 after that, so I'll probably have this video going out first, then it's going to be Banshee, and then it's going to be Golem. These videos are not so long, it's just to show you the potential of this hero. And you build her, right? You get her, and you can use her Azimanak Hunt, Banshee, Golem, and then you can use her in the Abyss if you haven't completed it. You can use her in Hell Raid or normal raid. You can use her, let me just show here the battle results. Okay, the damage is not that high, but keep in mind that damage is being redirected from Seaside to the frontliner to her. So she's also taking quite a bit of damage, as you can see, 101,000 damage received. This is before mitigation, by the way, not counting defense mitigation. So yeah, and also there's defense buff on the team, so that's increasing the team survival and allowing the team to survive much more easily. And we're not taking too much, you know, burst damage. It's relieving pressure from the healer, in my case, Angelic Montmorancy. It's going to allow you to not require so much gear across your whole team in terms of survival. You can go more offensive, and you can you don't need that much speed on your Soul Weaver to sustain your team, because you have higher mitigation. So it's very cool. It's very cool. I really love her kit. The fact that, I mean, it's defense buff, it's dispel. AoE dispel is huge. Her Mind's Eye is increasing her effectiveness by 30%. It's increasing her effect resistance by 30%. I mean, some debuffs might not land on her in PvE or PvP, so that's good. That's good. It cannot be dispelled. It lasts only 1 turn. Unfortunately, on a counter set, if you do get Mind's Eye to trigger and then you counter attack, you will not trigger Trample. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. Even if you had Mind's Eye applied before, and then you get you trigger a counter attack from another monster, it will still not trigger Trample with skill 1, unfortunately. But I feel like it would kind of be like she would go to OP level, to overpowered level, if it actually worked that way, and it would allow her to use skill 3 so much more often. In some scenarios, she could just use it so quick. So yeah, I mean, against area damage dealers, like a lot of cleave in PvP or in PvE, if there's a lot of AoE damage, she becomes even stronger, having a higher uptime on her Mind's Eye, and allowing her to trigger Trample whenever she uses skill 1, which is very cool. It's very cool. I need skill ups on skill 1 to have a higher chance to apply Defense Break. Since these are auto runs, that means you can't rely on soul burn. 10 souls to have a 100% chance to Defense Break for 2 turns. I mean, if you're going to be using her in, you know, maybe you're starting off your early game, you're doing some raid, can use that on auto, on manual, sorry. Or you can use her in Hell Raid or in the Abyss as you're trying to, you know, push up, climb up the Abyss. Automaton Tower, I mean, it's easy now in normal mode, of course, but if they do release like a hard mode Automaton Tower, harder difficulty stages in the Abyss, I mean, she's gonna be built. She's gonna be built. You're gonna have her, and you're gonna be able to use her in multiple areas of the game, PvE, multiple places. You can use her in PvP, in Guild Wars, in Arena offense, in Arena defense, in real-time Arena, World Arena, aka RTA. So very, very fun hero to use, and it was definitely worth pulling for me, anyways, because I do love bruisers. I love the fact that you don't have to babysit the bruisers so much with a Soul Weaver, a hero that sustains the team. So you can focus on keeping some squishier heroes alive on your team, and you can make sure that at least your mind's gonna be clear. Like you don't have to be too stressed to keep her alive. Let's say she's gonna be able to do her job, maybe land defense break when she triggers a counter, if you have her on counter set, or I mean, the fact that she can dispel the whole team, that's just huge. It's huge. The defense buff is beautiful. I feel like on a counter set, if you put her in the front line in PvE, that might be the optimal set. But when it comes to PvP, I feel like she'd be better on a speed set with speed boots, so she can potentially even like with Durandal cut in between the enemy damage dealers, between their cleave, let's say. You could cut in and apply defense buff on your team. That could be good unless you have unable to be buff applied on your team from a bazaar or something like that. So that would be unfortunate, but or let's say a Seaside Bellona that went before. So yeah, there's different ways to build her. Right now I'm testing counter with 2-piece health set. Right now it's on speed boots, and I feel like it's better, definitely better for PvE. For PvP, I will test her with speed boots on counter some more, and then I will try something else. I was thinking maybe go triple health set using the gear of my fire can, because it's quite good. It's quite good. The artifact, you know, right now I'm using Daydream Joker in PvP. I was using Curse Compass. I was trying that out because if she's slow and she's on counter set, she's gonna counter with skill 1. She's gonna get the effectiveness boost of Curse Compass, and then she's gonna go and use S3, the skill 3, and then dispel the whole team with the effectiveness boost from Curse Compass. So I was trying that out, but I can definitely try some other artifacts to get a feel for it. Okay, unfortunate there. Okay, so yeah, the damage definitely not so high, but we all know how Seaside Bellona is overpowered, and I mean the passive damage from her skill 3 is ridiculous, as you might have noticed the numbers. I wasn't paying too much attention to the fight. I was just like going through all my thoughts and what I want to talk about about Alencia. I mean, great hero, great hero. I don't really like to pull on RGB heroes that are not limited. You know, I prefer to use my Covenant Bookmarks on Covenant summons. That's how I got a lot of my Moonlight Natural 4 and 5-star heroes so far in this game. This is the Europe server, just a bit over 7 months old, and the progress has been insane. You know, if I check here, have 39 6-stars. I don't like try to 6-star heroes too much. You know, I could have like 60 if I really wanted. You can see my sky stones, it's quite ridiculous. So yeah, let's check the stats, the gear. So she's set up for PvP, Seaside Bellona. And like I said, if I had Ila's Violin, like it opens up way more different group compositions for Azimanak Hunt, because it allows you to just keep on dispelling with a mage. So I would just slap that on Champion Zerato, and that'd be GG. You know, it'd be so easy. Any mage really, but in my case it would be Champion Zerato. That's his stats. I have him on Daydream Joker because I will bring him in Banshee. Now I will try Seaside Bellona as well. Charles, he doesn't have that many skill ups. His gear is not where I want them to be, but I mean he could be used for Azimanak Hunt as well. But the dispel is already covered by. It's already covered by Alencia. So Angelic Montmorancy, definitely like a super strong hero. That's her gear. You know, very easy to obtain. You do her specialty change. You can bring her in so many different areas of the game. Only a 3-star hero, very easy to skill up. You know, just need some stigma and a bunch of catalysts. So that's very good. And yeah, I went with Seaside Bellona because, I mean, it's good. I mean, more hope for you guys because there's a higher chance you have Seaside Bellona compared to, let's say, Champion Zerato. That neck's actually pretty solid. That's only item level 65, but I like the stats. And that's the boots that were on my fire can, so higher effectiveness. I didn't have that much. I was missing 1% crit chance, so there's some loss of stats there, and the attack percentage, I mean, it helps for damage, but nothing crazy. Her skills scale off her own max health as well as her attack, but it's mostly about health, and I would say that it's much better to stack that because HP will increase her damage, but also her survival, of course, which is super helpful. So yeah, I like her with these stats. The effectiveness, you don't need to have 55%, you know, on paper. You can rely on Mind's Eye, especially if there's a lot of AoE damage coming your way. Like Azimanak Hunt, there's quite a bit of attacks happening, so Yeah, but if you want to reliably, you know, dispel with skill 3, you might want to go with 55% effectiveness right here in your character sheet, because the cooldown is, well, it's not that long, but still, 4 turns. If you do trigger the trample, it will lower the cooldown by 1 turn. So it's not so bad. It's not so bad, but definitely on speed boots, it allows her to use skill 3 more often. So there's less chance of you to you know, to die. But it might be harder to have enough survival for you, let's say, especially if you have Seaside Bellona in the backline and you have 30% of the damage that she takes redirected onto Alencia. It might be harder for you to actually survive some burst damage coming your way if her HP is not that high. But with the defense buff, it should be all good. It should be all good. So yeah, there's different ways to build her. That's the way she's built for now. I do like her in PvE in the front line with this. 40% of the time the AI will attack the front liner. If there's AoE damage, well, it will attack anyone anyways. But yeah, it works out real good. So don't forget to put her in the front line in PvE. In PvP, it doesn't matter. The AI will not focus on the front liner, unfortunately. But you can bait fire heroes onto her, especially in Guild Wars, but also in Arena. If you want to spread the damage your team is taking, you could have her soak some damage from fire dealers, but also like you could have you could bait other elements into other heroes, so it's much more easy to you know, to sustain your team, especially if you have AoE healing, and it's much easier to just stabilize in case there's some big burst coming. Because if you have every hero focusing on the same one, then they're gonna just burst you out, kill you, and then it's gonna be over. But I love Bruiser for that fact as well. Bruisers are great, you know. Firecan, he's the hero I rolled for on my Europe account early on, and I was initially farming Golem, moved on to Wyvern and then Banshee. So yeah, now Azimanak Hunt, I'll farm more of that. It's great that she allows me to 3-man the place without needing Illa's Violin or some other heroes. And like I said, she shines in multiple areas of the game. I would say that she's not overpowered, she's not OP, especially since she cannot trigger Trample with a counter attack or a dual attack, but still a very powerful hero. So yeah, if you're summoning for her, good luck with that. That's going to be it for this one, guys. Thanks for watching. I'm Astranox. Like, comment, and subscribe for more. Press the bell icon for to be notified whenever I release a new video. And check out my other videos. They should be showing up on the screen now. Playlist of all sorts. I got best starter guides with tips for fast progression. And I have Arena, you know, PvP. I got Guild War PvP. I got guides, tips, and how-tos. I got Abyss Floor 62+. So anyways, check those out if you haven't, and join my Discord server. We have over, well, almost 1,000 members, I believe. So come join the fun if you have questions and stuff like that. So you can ask them there. So yeah, that's really it for this one. And of course, like, there's multiple different ways you can build her, artifacts that you can use for her. But that's how I tested her in this one. If you have some suggestion, let us know in the comment section. And yeah, I'll showcase her as well in, you know, in Golem. I'll showcase her in Banshee, and I'll potentially do some Abyss Floors with her. Hell Raid, I will cover that as well. Some more Arena PvP, some Guild War PvP, and some RTA World Arena will be in store for you guys. So stay tuned for that. That's really it for this one. Good luck with all you do. Peace out for now.